Welcome to Witch Hunt, the show bringing you news of the ongoing crisis of harmful practices related to accusations of witchcraft and ritual attacks. I'm Josh Hutchinson.
And I'm Sarah Jack. Today, we are discussing a critical and contemporary issue, violence against persons accused of witchcraft.
Around the world, accusations of witchcraft continue to lead to horrific acts of violence. These accusations often result in social ostracism, physical assaults, and even murder.
Joining us today is a remarkable guest who has dedicated her life to fighting against these injustices. Sashiprava Bindhani, a human rights advocate and a legal expert from the Indian state of Odisha, has been at the forefront of combating witch hunting and advocating for the protection of vulnerable individuals.
Her work has led to significant legal reforms and raised critical awareness about the plight of those wrongfully accused.
Sashiprava's journey is both inspiring and sobering. From her early experiences to her groundbreaking public interest litigation, she has witnessed firsthand the devastating impact of witchcraft accusations.
Her efforts have not only brought legal recognition to these issues, but also highlighted the importance of changing societal perceptions and providing justice for victims.
In this episode, we will hear from Sashiprava about her personal experiences, the cases she has fought, and the changes she is striving to implement.
We will explore the psychological and societal dimensions of witch hunting, the role of the law in protecting human rights, and what more needs to be done to eradicate this practice.
Stay with us as we delve into this urgent and impactful discussion. Let's start by welcoming our guest, Sashiprava Bindhani.
What are some experiences people have had as victims of witch hunts?
My experience with childhood, as I mentioned, another incident also I have to mention here. When I was only 4 or 5 years old, I don't remember the age, but it is in the month of year. My father is a journalist, but he was a journalist just recently in this January at the age of 100, he passed away. And he was a journalist photographer. It was early in the morning. There was a phone call from the police station. I used to go around the places with him most of the time in my childhood. So that day also there was a call. I told that I must go with him. Then he reluctantly allowed me. Then we walked down to the police station. It was very near our home. Then when we arrived there, the old man was sitting there with the feeling of the pride that he has done a great, was holding a head. I was able to see that wrapping one towel, traditional towel, the head and the white hair cut with the blood. It was terrible for me that the blood meant something, and the small one meant it must be head. So there was a lot of story around also Dahani. So then after my father was a police photographer. So when he took the photograph of the person, so I was not allowed to go inside. I got the first glance that this is what he's holding. And he was very happy, and he came to the police station. Earlier, there was a trend that people used to kill the women and used to come to the police station and surrender them that we had killed the Dahani. So we did a great thing because he was responsible for a lot of such stories around that also. There is a lot of story. I might have seen that way more than 40 head during my lifetime, and mostly in my district. That's why I mentioned about my land. So it was the thing I asked my father and my grandfather. There is any witch? Or, it was not a witch. I'm not saying witch. I'm saying that Dahani is not the Oriya of witch. Witch is just not witch. Okay. Then when I asked, no, there is no such thing. So people think they used to accuse most women as Dahani. Still it is not there. So that was the thing in me came from my father and grandfather. Oh, there's no such thing. Oh. My makeup fine. Later on, I started what's the women who are victim of children. So this was my first experience with Dahani, the violence related to Dahani. Then there was many such cases I have seen, mostly my father. He used to go and take them. So it was not only related to Dahani, many other things in my life, good things, bad things I have witnessed in my childhood. And then later on, this after the filing of the now before the filing of the thesis, I have went through my special migrant. I made people those who were in the jail in the acquisition of the crime committed. Um, that means killing women and killing Bunia, the witch doctor, and are already in the custody or in the jail. So story, there are many, not the story, it is life story was narrated by them. And the most heinous situation I came to know in 2015, but not directly, but it is through newspaper. Later on, all the cases was through newspaper, or I used to talk to people, or I can meet some people, but I cannot just disclose their identity. Then through newspaper, then I have interacted with them. It was not public meeting. I have made them in isolation because to keep their interview with me confidential. The people minds are always prejudiced minds, so I have never exposed them with the story, with their story. So, but one thing has happened that was terrible for me, that it is not only in the rural state people used to allege women as Dahani, but alleging women in different way. So that crime has the alleged crime different cases. I can say one example. It is not an example. It is that people's life story. That is where when that is the last part of 2008, after my interaction with people in that is called Fulbani. I was working in Fulbani, where in 2007 8, the violence related to communalism was in a very bad state. But I'm not using now that communalism one, because also alleged crime, women. So women always women are victims of any such situation. When suppose something is happening in the community, it turns to the women who used to give support community during the necessity, especially when the women and children they get sick. So these are the women who provide the knowledge for that is you can say indigenous knowledge, knowledge which has come from to them from generation. So in another district, adjacent to that Fulbani, the two women of a family were alleged to be Dahani because they were having that they are very much popular among the community, and the lady, one of the lady who was tested to be the leader in the panchayat community level. That is, panchayat is for taking some villages together. Panchayat is one of the unit. Then blocks, village, panchayat, then block. So she wanted to be the head of the panchayat. Then he made such a situation by telling people, some young people, then they went to tell the community that these two women are the honey. Because of them, there were other incidents placed during that time. So because of them, all these accidents and other things are happening. So we must condemn them. They must. admit themselves that they are Dahani. They made them naked. They made them publicly. They make them to parade, and they put black and white on their body and saying that until unless you admit that you were the Dahani, we will not leave you. By coincidence, one of their nephew was in the police, so he came to rescue these two ladies, saying that okay, I'm arresting them. It was in 2010, in November, right? It was in 2010 now. I'm arresting them, and so I'm taking them as a son. Yes. Later on, I made them both of this lady, their husband. I made them in an isolated place, not disclosing what is happening. The story they mentioned that they are very good in managing the child health, the community level. And people used to come to them even during the pregnancy. If there is any difficult pregnancy, so they used to come to them. This thing uh, made them more popular than the lady who was interested to stand for the head of the panchayat. So they told the young people that you can go and tell that the God has told that these two women must be killed because they are Dahani, and because of them, all other is happening. So this is this what I'm sharing with you that this is not limited to this two incidents. In the during my working with the human rights law network, many people used to come for the legal assistance. So my expertise is also to connect people for the legal relief, legal work, also to develop the document for them to file the, before the law. And I ask people that whether they believe that they are Dahani or not. Interestingly, we are in the mind of the people, whether it is the rural area, in Mayurbanj, in Bhubaneswar, in India, in other part of the state capital, country capital, believe how they are not clear about that whether there is Dahani or not. Maybe in the state Odisha we use a different word Dahani. Hindi it is Dayan. In other part it is Chudel. The thing is that still in the mind of the people that they believe that women are having such lot of confusing stories in their mind. Somehow they are not clear about whether there is Dahani or not. That's why my blog, I launched this blog saying that there is no Dahani. No woman is Dahani. Alleging women as Dahani is a crime punishable under law because we have the legislation. So this is one thing to prevent this thing, that putting this thing in the mind that there is the law, we cannot say women is Dahani. It's just a beginning. And my advocacy there is I'm trying to say that if you believe that there is no Dahani, then join with. It's also another type of experiment in the people's mind, making it public and inviting public opinion that if you believe that the women are not Dahani, then join your voice, add your voice with her. Bhamati Rostaro. So it is already 2.5 years. It was last on 19th of December 2021. Until that, the response, so within that period, I might have texted more than 1,000 emails, more than that way, hundreds of what to people asking this question. There is no done. If you think that there is no done, it's aid your voice. Still think there is done. Our strategy needs to be done different now because by launching my experience that we must go very strategic. And maybe legal fee is one of the things we can use for prevention of it.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Witch Hunt.
Join us every week.
Have a great today and a beautiful tomorrow.